Good evening. This is a meeting of the Athens Board of Zoning Appeals. The time is 7 p.m. and the date is July 10, 2018. And that's, by the way, Nikola Tesla's birthday today. At this time, I will call the meeting to order. The board consists of 5 members and 2 alternates, the alternates taking full part in the discussions and becoming a voting member in the absence of a member or when a member abstains for conflict of interest. Present tonight are members Mr. Ed Baum and Ms. Kay Towsley, and the 2 alternates are Mr. Aaron Thomas and Jessica Kopelwitz. Both of them will be a voting member tonight. I am John Golsey, the chair. Also present is the zoning administrator, Mr. Rick Sorois. At this time, I invite you to view a pre-recorded video on the rules and procedures of the board.
The Athens Board of Zoning Appeals operates according to the following procedure. The chair will name and describe the case. The zoning administrator or secretary will state the basis of the objection and any applicable facts or conditions pertaining to the case. The appellant or their representative will give reason why the appeal should be viewed favorably. Anyone wishing to speak in favor of the request will be heard. Anyone wishing to speak in general comment will be heard. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition will be heard. If necessary, the appellant or their representative will offer concluding, summary, or rebuttal remarks. Testimony from the floor shall be closed. The board will deliberate and render a decision. According to Athens City Code, Section 23.07.03b, the board has power to grant variances from the strict application of the code, provided the variance will not be contrary to the public interest, the spirit of the code is observed, public safety and welfare are secured, and substantial justice is done. According to Athens City Code, Section 23.07.10c, variances from the code shall not be granted unless the board makes specific findings of fact based directly on the particular evidence presented to it, that the standards and conditions imposed in this title, if applicable, have been met by the applicant. Exceptional circumstances. There are exceptional or extraordinary circumstances or conditions applying to the property in question or to the intended use of the property that do not apply generally to other properties or classes or uses in the same zone. Practical difficulty and undue hardship. Because of exceptional or extraordinary circumstances or conditions pertaining to a specific piece of property, a literal enforcement of these regulations will result in practical difficulty or undue hardship that is unnecessary to the achievement of public purposes. Preservation of equal property rights. Literal interpretation of these regulations would deprive the appellant of rights commonly enjoyed by others in the same zone and the same vicinity, while a granting of the requested variance will not confer on the applicant any special privilege that is denied to other properties in the same zone and the same vicinity. Minimum variance. The variance granted is the minimum variance required to make possible the reasonable use of the property. Absence of detriment. The authorizing of such variance will not be of substantial detriment to adjacent property and will not materially impair the purpose of the zoning code or the public interest. Not of a general nature. The condition or situation of the specific piece of property or the intended use of said property for which variance is sought, one or the other or in combination, is not of so general or recurrent a nature as to make reasonably practicable the formulation of a general regulation for such condition or situation. Any person, resident, or officer, department, or appointed body of the City of Athens, aggrieved by a decision of the board, may petition the Athens County Court of Common Pleas concerning the illegality of the decision. Such petition must be filed within 30 days after the mailing of the decision of the board to the applicant. Thank you.
There are 2 cases tonight on the agenda. First, we're going to hear a case for the property 175 2nd Street. And the second case would be for the property 62 Sunnyside Drive. the board is required to take testimony under oath. Would anyone wishing to speak concerning any item on the agenda please stand? Do you swear or affirm that any testimony you will present to the board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. Thank you. Please be seated. Okay, case number 1 is case 18-16V. The property at 175 2nd Street, zone is R1. Angela Lash and Jim Harris are the appellants. I earlier spoke with both appellants, and they confirmed on the phone that Ms. Lori will be representing them tonight. So, appellant is requesting a variance from ACC 2310 Table A, a schedule of bulk controls to allow an addition to a building with a left side setback of 6 feet, where 8 feet is the minimum requirement, and a rear setback of 24 feet, where 30 feet is the minimum requirement. Mr. Sroyce, do you have any comments you want to add?
I have no comments to add at this time.
Okay, would the appellant please, or the representative please come to the podium, state your name and your address for the records.
Hello, my name is Lori Groman, and my address is 131 2nd Street.
Okay, you want to state your case? Go ahead.
I'm here to represent Angela Lash and Jim Harris. They've provided a brief statement, and I can read that, so just imagine that I'm Angela Lash, a younger, prettier person. We would like to request a variance that would allow us to build a porch on the back of our home. Our permit request was refused because we will not meet the setback requirements on the left and rear of the porch. If approved, we would build a porch or deck with a 6-foot setback on the left and a 24 setback on the rear. We will meet the required setback on the right. We appeal the permit refusal and request a variance based on reason number 3, preservation of equal rights, and 5, absence of detriment. Since purchasing our home in 2007, we have done nothing but improve it inside and out. We are dedicated not only to increasing the value of our home, but also maintaining the integrity of the West Side community, which we love. The attached photos document recent improvements we have made to the outside of our home, as well as the area that we currently would like to improve. Do you have those pictures? Or would you? Do you have them?
Yes.
We would like to build a simple deck on the back of our home. The proposed deck will replace an already existing and deteriorating concrete pad and stairway. In addition to providing our family with a nice outdoor space to enjoy, it will also add to the value of our home. And considering that the existing concrete pad and stairway are cracked and deteriorating. I need my glasses. The existing concrete pad does not meet the setback requirements, nor will the deck we build to replace it. But many homes in the area already have similar deck porch areas that obviously do not also meet the setback requirements, as they are quite close to the street. The amount of additional green space covered on our property by the porch will be minimal, as we are primarily covering just the existing concrete. The ability to build this deck would provide us with rights commonly enjoyed by other properties in our area without providing any special privilege to us that is not available to other property owners. Additionally, the ability to build a deck on the back of our home will not be of any detriment to adjacent properties, nor will it impair the purpose of the zoning code or public interest. It will not interfere with our neighbors' ability to utilize their own yard space, nor will it be an eyesore to them. It's a simple deck similar to those on many of the homes in our area. Thank you.
Any questions for the appellant? No? I just was there and I saw the landscaping was very nice. I suppose that's because so close to the code office, so they want to keep it nice and clean. You may be seated.
Thank you.
And is there anyone who would like to make a a comment on behalf of this variance, or in general commentary, or opposition? We have to say that, so there's nobody here, but...
The multitudes.
Okay, we close the discussion from the floor, and unless there's any discussion, would somebody make a motion?
I move that the Board of Zoning Appeals grant a variance from ACC 2310 Table A, Schedule of Bulk Controls, to allow an addition to a building with a left side setback of 6 feet, where 8 feet is the minimum requirement, and a rear setback of 24 feet, where 30 feet is the minimum requirement.
To what property?
To add the property.
I'm sorry?
To what property?
Oh, I'm sorry, forgot. To 175 2nd Street.
I second.
Okay,
Second Street.
and I believe we were told that only the property address needs
Yes.
to be discussed. Okay, very good. We have a second, Ms. Townsley.
If I may make a general comment, I've
Sure.
made it before, is that sprinkled throughout the city are a number of properties that don't meet what the zoning code considers to be the minimum size of a property, which is 8,000 feet. This property is less than half that. And so there's absolutely no way that the property could ever meet the zoning code. We have lots on 2nd Street, even on my own street and elsewhere. There are probably literally hundreds of properties that are smaller than 8,000 square feet. And it's a shame that we have to keep coming back to the zoning code to handle these situations, which by themselves are exceptional. And maybe we can convince City Council sometime to adjust that so that we don't have to have, I mean, I love meeting on the second Tuesday of the month and good friends here, but it's not needed.
Well, thank you, sir. You just knocked out the first two findings, exceptional circumstances and practical difficulty. I'm not going to read it, but do you think that was sufficient?
Yes.
Yes.
Preservation of equal property rights,
Yes.
that
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
applies. Is this a minimum variance?
Yes.
And absence of detriment
No.
was documented, and not of a general nature, so maybe something can be done about that. Are we ready to vote?
Yes.
All
Yes.
in favor of this variance, please raise your hand. We have 5-0, you have the variance, or Angela has the variance. Let's go to case number 2, case number 18-17V. The property is 62 Sunnyside Drive, zone is R1, and Chris Lowe is the appellant. The appellant is requesting a variance from ACC 2310, Table A, a schedule of bulk controls to allow an addition to a building with a left side setback of 2 feet, where 5 feet is the minimum requirement, and a structural lot coverage of 38%, where 30% is the maximum allowance. Mr. Serois, any additional comments? No?
None at all.
Any questions for the code office? No? Okay, sir, you may come to the podium and state your name and your address and your case.
I'm Kristen Lowe.
I'm Chris Lowe.
Okay.
Because I'm coming over a cold, I'm letting my wife do most of the talking.
So I think you have the letter that we submitted and the signatures of our neighbors. The person that would be affected the most, or the people, would be at 60 Sunnyside, Tom and Edna. And they have no problem with the changes that
Okay.
we're proposing. And currently we have pavers covering some area, and instead of using the pavers, we'd like a deck. And it would increase the size by about 1.5%. And yeah, Mr. Baum's point was kind of what goes with ours also. Our lot is 5,200 square feet. When we purchased the house, the property is covering about 34, or the structure, about 34% of the lot. So we're asking basically for a 4% increase to add on to our porch, where the existing porch was, and then put the deck over the pavers.
Okay. Do you want to add anything?
Well, there's other information, but I feel like it would be,
That's straight to the point.
I feel like it would be redundant to what
She
was
did a
in the
good
letter.
job, so I don't think there's anything more left to say. Any questions for the appellant? No? You may be seated. Again, we don't have anyone who wants to speak on behalf, in general, or opposition to this request. So we close the discussion from the floor. I just want to add in here that in addition to the letter that the appellants talked about, I have in here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 signatures from addresses 83, 81, 84, and 60 Sunnyside Drive, and 74 Elmwood. And those are the neighbors who have no objection to this proposal. Findings.
You gotta make a
Oh, you want to
motion.
make a motion?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Wish to make a motion to grant the appellant variance from ACC 23-110, Table A, Schedule of Bulk Control to allow an addition to a building located on 62 Sunnyside Drive with a left setback of 2 feet where 5 feet is the minimum requirement and a structural lot coverage of 38% where 30% is the maximum allowance.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, second. Exceptional circumstances.
I'll just say, the same comments that I made regarding the first case apply to this case.
Okay, so that again knocks out the first two. Preservation of equal property rights.
Yep, no problem.
Yes.
No problem. Okay. Is this a minimum variance?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Is there any absence of detriment? Yes.
There's that.
And not of a general nature.
Correct.
Same comment. All in favor of this proposal, this variance, please raise your hand. You have the variance 5-0. Congratulations. Disposition of the minutes from June 12, 2018. Did you all read? Everything
Yep.
is fine?
Yes.
Now, those of you who were here, or you can make a motion to approve the minutes.
I so move.
Second, do we?
Second.
Jessica?
Sure,
Jessica, second.
sure.
And then all in favor to approve the minutes, please raise your hands. 5-0. I'm sorry, I was not here, so only if you were here you can vote. So I would not be a part of it.
4-0.
4-0.
Well, the meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.